Nothing today I am proud of, nothing today I really appreciate deeply from my heart. Nothing of that came quick. It always involved a lot of sweat and suffering and pushing through and having patience and being persistent, being consistent, not giving up and trusting, all of these things.
There's so many people that have the ability and just refuse to get off that couch. Refuse to study a few more hours, refuse to go deeper, to go further. And that's where I gain the advantage.
You have to sacrifice everything in order to achieve your goal. Everything, your dignity, everything, because the objective is to accomplish the goal. And that's all I want to do. You have to be able to disregard your happiness, because our happiness is a form of our ego as well. And it's all about disintegrating the ego and being this objective individual, which is almost impossible without the ego. You know, the ego gives it purpose. So you have to have a purpose without a feeling, which I just know how to do. I can't even explain it.
Consistency is the currency of credibility. The pain you experience is the price you pay to build the character you want. Patience is built through delay. Consistency is built through boredom. And toughness is built through suffering. It's not punishment, right? It's the only way to become the person that you said you wanted to become. Because all hardships are the price tags for the character traits that we hope to someday have.
I'm gonna see what happens when I decide that I am qualified. What happens when I decide for myself that I'm gonna do something different? I have been finding myself more motivated, even when I do not feel like doing something, to do it. My brain can feel a certain way, but it's not gonna choose how I behave all the time.
When you think about the person that you want to be, the person that's reliable, the person that gives the maximum effort, the person that does what they need to do regardless of how they feel, would that person do the things that you're doing? No, they wouldn't. The very same consistency that could make you great and make you exactly who you want to be is being directed towards things that make you mediocre, that make you the furthest thing from who you want to be. So when you take an action, ask yourself, who is this turning me into? What character trait am I building through this action? And if you don't like the answer to that question, then you have to change that action.
You see, there are infinite versions of you. Each living a life shaped by a different choice. The question is, which one will you tune into?
What makes one person a champion and the other one not?
Champions are broken. They lack something everyone else has, which is an off button. They just don't stop.
I'm unbeatable. I can't be beat. It's impossible. You condemn me. You can damage me. You're never ever gonna beat me.
The odds were stacked against me. I won anyway.
Winning has a price.
So I know when my opponent is asleep, I'm out there at 4 or 5 in the morning working.
The strive, the will. There's certain people that grow up with a tremendous hunger.
Champions find a way to make it happen.
But I got the will to win.
I can be scared and carry on.
Both fear and faith demand you to believe in something that you never saw.
You have to be the champion before you become the champion. You gotta be him before you become him.
But the truth is, I'm really in pursuit of greatness.
A mentality of greatness. And no breaks.
You want to become best, you want to become champion. Who cares, you tired or not? Nobody cares about you.
Champion mentality. Winning isn't once what I thought it was. I found it to be much more complex than our traditional definitions of success.
And my 3 questions are, what do you want? How badly do you want it? And how much are you willing to suffer? I want to be the best, Bill. Fine. How badly do you want it? The best pay a big price.
Nothing's ever going to be given to you. Everything's going to be earned. If you don't go out there and put in the work, you don't go out and put in the effort, one, you're not going to get the results. But two, and more importantly, you don't deserve it. You didn't earn it. 5 or 6 years, I went every single day without missing a single day. I was in the water on Christmas, birthday, holidays, everything. It didn't matter. And the thought process behind that was, when you take a day off, it takes you 2 days to get back to where you were. So when somebody is taking off on a Sunday, they're not back on Tuesday from where they were on Saturday. So I have that many days ahead of them. I was putting all of that, we would call it putting it in the bank. We were storing all of this good work that we were doing, this hard work that we were doing, continuous hard work, and it was going to pay off at some point.
You guys have no idea. When you're hurt, how do you feel? You lay down, right? You take a second, you go, you take your vitamins, you do your thing. When I'm hurt, I love it. I love that feeling because it's real. That's the most realest feeling that you could ever have, is being in pain, because everything else, happiness could be fake, crying could be fake, but pain, that's real.
Pain in your muscles and aching, and just then go on and go on and then go on. And this last 2 or 3 or 4 repetitions, that's what makes actually the muscle then grow. And that's divides then one from a champion and one from not being a champion. If you can go through this pain period, you make it to be a champion. If you can't go through, forget it. And that's what most people lack, is on this, having the guts to go in and just say, I go through and I don't care what happens.
But to be great, Monday on top of Tuesday, Tuesday on top of Wednesday, Wednesday on top of Thursday, Thursday, Friday on top of Saturday, Saturday, Sunday. Let's start over. Let's start over. Let's start over. Let's start over. And true greatness is always evolving.
I trained Kobe Bryant for 9 years. For 9 years, every single time I saw him, I told him, we don't have time. Every single day, I wish I was wrong. I wish I was wrong. So whatever your it is, go get it now. Go get it now.
When I seen that Bentley at the boxing gym, and I seen that diamond Rolex, I said, I want that. And I knew what it took.
I know people don't usually talk like that, but I want to be one of the greats. I'm inspired by the greats. I'm inspired by the greats here tonight. I'm as inspired by Daniel Day-Lewis, Marlon Brando, and Viola Davis as I am by Michael Jordan and Michael Phelps, and I want to be up there.
Without you or with you, there is always gonna be champions. With your name, this is your choice. You wanna put your name there? Okay, work hard. No? Bye-bye.
If you give up on your dreams, what do you have left?
When you grow up comfortably, and in comfort and in peace and happiness and all those things, that will produce a very balanced person and a good person, but it will not create the will and the determination and the hunger that you need to be the best in the world.
I feel to be at the pinnacle of any game. In whatever you do, you've got to be a little bit gone to it. You're not all there. You've got to be almost insane to your craft. Not a lot of people can understand that.
On one given night, if you worked hard enough, if you dreamed big enough, you sacrificed enough, you just worked yourself to the bone. No matter what you had, what you didn't have, no matter what people had told you, didn't tell you, and you were ready to behave like a champion on one given night and make the world fair.
Whether it's a world champion boxer, a basketball player, or a track star, or horse, even animals, what made him a world champion was that he seemed to, at the right time when the pressure's down, at the last few yards, he can get that lead. He's got enough left to make it. Our last fight, the fight was even up until the last round, but I had something that he didn't have. Champion is just one who can come out at the last minute and close the show.
There's no stopping a man that knows he's right and just keeps on coming.
There's a distinct difference between a champion and someone who's just good. Someone that's good sits there and thinks to himself, I've given everything I have. Hopefully, I can get through the 12th round. A champion, he sits in that corner while all of his people are talking to him. He in here, all he's thinking about is, I have to find what I haven't given. It's that mentality that truly separates the champions from the monsters that's good.
What I found is that winning doesn't happen on show day. It happens in those early mornings, painful workouts, long cardio sessions, and hungry nights. It happens in those moments of fear we all have when faced with a difficult goal, and then more so in what you make of that fear. It happens in every second of every day before you win.
People, Earth, I need to say something. Listen to me. I hope every one of you behind the screens or in this arena can feel this level of happiness just one time in your life. I hope all of you can feel how happy I am just one time in your life. But guess what? You never feel this level of happiness if you don't go for something.
Whatever you're pursuing in the world, whether it's tennis, sports, or anything else, I feel that I had the power to create my own destiny. I try to visualize every single thing in my life, not only believe it, but really feel it with every cell in my body. Be in the present moment, forget about what happened in the past. Future is something that is just going to happen, but if you want a better future, you create it.
They're gonna tell you you can do it. They're gonna knock you down and doubt you. But guess what? The only person you need to achieve anything in this life is yourself.
If you can see it here, and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen.
And have your hand lifted and be called champion of the world. There's people that would die for that.
People that are running after their dream know they're gonna have hard times. They keep on running because they're saying within themselves,
maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, and maybe not the next month. Only one thing is true. I will be champion one day, I promise.
You deserve everything you're going through because you'd rather become good tomorrow than be good today. And this immense, universal, and timeless truth really boils down to the fact every single thing, every single challenge, struggle, or behavior that you ever want to adapt or avoid asks of you to attain it or to fight it in this present moment.
You are capable of so much, yet you choose to do so little. You have the physical and mental capacity to contribute something valuable to the world, and you elect to sit on the couch and waste away day after day, week after week, consuming everything and contributing nothing. You have the option to go out in the world and do something that makes the world a better place, and you just choose not to. You know, there are people that don't have a choice. There are people who are confined to the reality that you are choosing. And even on the days where they feel like going out in the world and doing something, they can't. And I guarantee those people would be willing to trade everything to be able to work out, to be able to go to work. Yet you have the audacity to complain. You don't even see how fortunate you are that you can do these things that you don't want to do. And that choosing to not take advantage of that opportunity is an insult not only to the people that believe in you, but to the people who don't get to make that choice.
And once you start dreaming about what you can become, the effect you can have, the joy it's going to give you, the return that's going to come, you just start designing this incredible purpose for your life. You can see yourself being uniquely benevolent, providing things for people they never dreamed they could have, helping them to accomplish things they never dreamed they could accomplish. How that's going to make you feel, the kind of person you're going to become from it, the joy you're going to get from it, you just must ponder that and think about it, talk about it, and design it.
What's your life going to look like if you don't do it? What's your life gonna look like if you don't fucking go out and build what the you wanna build? That you have this little vision in your heart and in your mind of what your life should be like. And what are you gonna feel like if you don't go do that? What are you gonna feel like in a year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? When you die, what are you going to be saying? Because I can promise you, bro, that dream ain't going away.
Difficulties in life is nothing that stops you because it is so heartbreaking, because it goes so deep. It carries the potential for the highest transformation. If you want to see it bad, it's going to be bad. What happened to you is not going to change. You can only determine what is going to be the consequence of what comes to you. How will you transform it? Will you let it stuck inside of you and it slowly eats you up from the inside? Or do you make something different about it?
If you recite your excuses long enough, you will actually hypnotize your subconscious mind to think they're true. Most people, you can tell their beliefs by their words, and then their behaviors. The positive psychologists call it a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Often in life, we go back to our old patterns of this means this, I'm not the best, I'm not that good, that people won't believe in me, people won't follow me, what are people thinking about me? We have all these questions that don't serve us. Thinking is the process of asking and answering questions to yourself. That's what a thought is. So when you want to change your life, you change the questions you ask yourself. You begin to take control of the questions you ask yourself. That will change the meaning, it will change your life. The question creates the meaning creates an emotion, the emotion gives you the quality of your life.
Hear me very closely when I say this. A person's only limitation is in their development and use of their imagination. The mind could produce anything. The mind could conceive and believe. If your imagination could see it, it could come into this world. Whether everyone calls it unrealistic or whether everybody supports it, everything you see started in the imagination.
But Seneca says, a mind that is settled, a character that is at peace with itself, will always be home wherever it is, both in location and in time. The problem lies with us and not with the situation. And outrunning this or that occurrence of that fundamental problem is not a fix, and it only makes us more stressed, more tired.
Every being has a destiny loaded and coded within them. People want their dreams to come true. Well, you have to come true to yourself to have your dream come true. But if one establishes an intention, then through universal law, that intention is matched. Because so many people are listening to so many voices in their head, they're listening to so many external authorities, but within each being, there's a destiny trying to emerge.
Stop and think. What's something really big that you would love to see yourself accomplish? If you were to just roll the clock ahead a year, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 15 years, what is it that you really want?
All in love with the process, because it is the most beautiful thing in existence. I mean, right now, you are in the process of pursuing something extraordinary. You're developing your mind, your skills, and along the way, experiencing failure, but then learning from it and continuing forward, smarter, stronger, more equipped than the last time. You meet new people, experience new things, doors open up, and periodically you look back and realize how far you have come. That is beautiful.
I think most people feel really lonely when you want something that doesn't currently exist. And so some people call that dreams, some people call that goals, whatever it is. You're trying to pull something from your mind into reality, and you want it done a certain way. And if it's not done that way, it's not what you imagined. And so people on the outside will throw stones and call you names that they think will change your behavior and get you to stop.
Remember, sometimes you will take the wrong turn in life. You take that wrong turn, it leads to a dead end. Now what are you gonna do? You're gonna sit there at the dead end and stare at it? Or are you gonna turn around and figure out which way you're supposed to go? You're gonna go through a lot of dead ends in life. You just gotta keep it pushing, figure your way out of it, but don't ever just stand still. Life is always going. So if you stand still for too long, life is gonna pass by.
The majority of people just don't do it. You know, it's like a lot of people want it, but not a lot of people want to do it. So just by taking that one little step, you're separating yourself from the herd.
The most important thing is to take action. That is the most, even if it's the wrong action. If you take the wrong step, if you take the first step in the wrong direction, the difference between you and the person who doesn't take a step at all is the worry. You have to take the first step. You have to take some kind of action.
Most people are incapable of picking a direction and just going. They observe the possibilities, they get paralyzed by all the possibilities, they refuse to move forward on all the possibilities, and then time passes them by. So it's very important that you make a decision and you go down that path. You commit to that path with the mentality of having zero options. I don't have a choice but to see this through.
You know, you're not gonna be perfect. Yes, you're gonna have times in your journey where maybe you fall off in certain areas, or maybe you're not as disciplined, or you waver a little bit, right? But it's about maximizing the moment that you have right now, right? Having the self-awareness and the self-reflection to be able to catch yourself when you are falling off or slacking in a certain area in your life, and bring yourself back to center, ground yourself where you are, and make the most out of this moment that you have right now. Make the next right decision.
I feel like if you don't know where you want to be right now, you just need to ask yourself, what would you like to be doing a year from now? Because if you shorten up how long it takes you to get to where you want to be, it's easier and more attainable. I think when you think about what do you want to do 5 years from now, 10 years from now, it seems like too far to reach. So starting with baby steps really helps you figure out where you really want to see your life go. Not where your friends or family want to see it, but where you want to go. And if you know at least where you'd like to be this time next summer, that should give you a good indication to start looking in that niche, in that field, down that path. Like whatever that looks like for you is for you. And only you know that.
All of us are trying to find something, trying to find meaning, love, contentment, because we feel that something is missing. That's why we're so busy, why we kill ourselves with work, why we can't be still. This drive is what allows us to accomplish things, so it's not all bad. The problem is that when we do accomplish things, we don't feel that much better. It never seems to fill the void. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, you've wandered all over and finally realized that you've never found what you were after, how to live. Not in syllogisms, not in money or fame or self-indulgence, nowhere. Ain't that exactly right? What we have to realize is that the answer to our problems is not more. Money, power, renown, these will not satisfy us. We satisfy it simply by living our life as nature demands. That means by being good, by being true to ourselves, by focusing, by not wasting a second wishing anything was otherwise or caring what other people think of us. We just live as well as we can.
The fact is, there is something big inside of you. Lean into that. I know that you have huge ambitions, and I want to make sure that you never give up on going for them.
Best day of a man's life is the day he realizes that nobody's come to save him. If he can know that and feel peace about it and almost be excited about it because he gets to go fight his own hero's journey, he'll win. If he can accept it, he'll win. Because you take entire responsibility for your life. Too many people give up responsibility in their life to then point the finger at somebody else. Take responsibility for everything. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna go to work, I'm gonna do the same thing I did yesterday.
When you guys think about what it is that creates greatness, and when you think about all the things that you wish you could be, and wish you were, and wish you could become, you have to understand that that requires effort from you. That requires you doing things intentionally that are going to make you uncomfortable, that are going to help develop skills that you can then apply to any plan that you move forward.
Challenge yourself.
There's always more things that we could do, that we can face, that we can get things done, but we don't want to do it because it feels scary, it feels uncomfortable. We worry. That's another way. If everything in life is doing well, then that means you're not challenging yourself enough.
Feeling lonely? Me too. I feel lonely a lot. But what loneliness is at its core is a lack of understanding of who we really are. When something bad happens, why me? To feel sort of a grievance, that things aren't fair, to feel that other people aren't giving you what you want or what you deserve. Start from a position of feeling kind of sorry for ourselves. We deserve more than what we're getting. And so Amor Fati is very powerful in that you train yourself to accept everything that happens. It's sort of a banality to say that things happen for a reason, but there's some truth to it. For Nietzsche, it was, this is life. Life involves pain. Life involves adversity. You're going to die one day and it's not going to be pleasant. Your friends and family members, they're going to die one day and it's not going to be pleasant. You're going to have failure in life. People are going to hurt you. But that is life. That's what it is. So to resist that, to be angry about that, means to not love life itself.
Well, join an easy crowd. You won't grow. Go where the expectations are high. Go where the demands are high. Go where the pressure's on to perform, to grow, to change, to develop, to read, to study, to develop skills. Go where the demands are high. Go where the expectations are strong so that it'll provoke you, push you, urgently insist that you not remain the same for the next couple of years, the next 5 years, that you'll grow and change.
The battle is feelings versus discipline. And I hate living according to your feelings. I hate acting according to your feelings. They get you messed up, dude. They jack your life up. They get you in trouble because not all feelings are good. You cannot live your life based off of your feelings. Feelings do not equal reality. Feelings do not equal results.
Won't get harder. Like, this is the hardest part. And so if you can just make it through this, everything else is downhill. It's not that the things that the dragons are going to slay aren't going to get bigger. They are. But you become so much more equipped to slay them back. And you have so many more allies. You have people in the stands cheering for you. You have the audience. You have all of these other things that are behind you. But in the beginning, it's just you with a stick against a bear.
Need you to understand that there is an undeniable power behind belief. And I know that you've never had anybody that's truly believed in you, but I'm telling you that I believe in you. I know that you can overcome your destructive habits, that you could become more confident, you can earn more, and you can let go of the traumas that should no longer serve you. And you're better than that.
I'm saying what if and start saying why not. Some people are gonna live with the what if for the rest of their lives. But when I get old, I'm on my deathbed. Man, what if I would've took that chance? What if I would've just started? What if I would've took the first step? Taking the first step got us exactly to where we are today. You take a chance to do something that you love, it's a song, a dream, it changed your life. But exactly where you are right now is always gonna be there. It's never gonna go anywhere. Your hometown is gonna be the same. People are gonna be doing the same shit around you. But a chance for you to get out of where you're at, step out and take a chance on life, and it could be the best decision you ever made in your life. But you can't sit down and what if? Sit down on your ass and think, damn, what would it be like to be there? Go fucking do it.
The hardest part about change is not making the same choice as you did the day before. Now, once people understand that they're going to be uncomfortable, then the question is, what thoughts do you want to fire and wire in your brain? What behaviors will you demonstrate in one day? In the act of closing your eyes and rehearsing who you're going to be when you open your eyes begins to install neurological hardware in your brain to look like you've already done it.
Whatever you're thinking about, that's who you will become, because thoughts lead to actions, actions lead to habits, habits lead to lifestyle, and that lifestyle is what dictates who you are.
Here's the reality. Bad days are in store for all of us. It's guaranteed. It's the circle of life. So the question we need to ask ourselves is it really worth wasting perfectly good days fearing the bad ones?
will chase happiness because they think that that's what they need, when in reality, happiness is just a byproduct of becoming the best version of yourself. So instead of chasing the emotion, become the type of person that is experiencing that emotion, and you can be in that state more consistently.
It's so easy to lose ourselves in the midst of a storm, especially when it feels like we haven't seen a sunny day in months. And we think because this storm is so powerful that all of our dreams are going to be washed away with it. But what if the storm looked at you and said, if you stay true, what's for you will find you?
This is the comeback. Maybe you're in a rut, maybe you've just experienced failure, or maybe you're just lost. But this is the part in your story where the momentum shifts. This is where you find the drive that you've been looking for. It is now. This is the start of your comeback. The vision that you have for your future, everything you so desire, is begging you to pick yourself up and begin your journey. Because the window is closing, and if you pass this one up, you very well may solidify your eternal existence within the dreadful cycle of stagnation.
When you find that sense of purpose, when you find what I call your life's task, everything has a direction, everything has a purpose, your energy is concentrated. It's not like you're just going down a single narrow pathway. It's not like life becomes boring and it's just about discipline and solving problems. It's actually the most exciting thing that could ever happen to you, because you never have that lost feeling. You wake up in the morning and you go, yeah, this is what I need to accomplish. People come at you with all kinds of distractions and boring and irritating things. You're able to cut it out. It's just the most marvelous piece of internal radar that you can have. So I genuinely wish that everybody can find that kind of internal radar.
You are the creator. You are creating every aspect of your life. You're creating time, you're creating memories, you're creating bad habits, you're creating good habits, you're creating good relationships, you're creating bad relationships. You're creating everything. You're creating things that you don't like. You're creating things that you love. You are a creative being, and you need to be continuously creating in order to maintain momentum and energy.
The undisputed first law of personal growth is this: that people will never rise above the opinion of themselves. And when we commit to self-mastery, we give ourselves the best shot at becoming the best and greatest versions of ourselves that we can be. And then we get to become the example and the invitation to others. Be the change you wish to see in the world.
You know, in this life, in your own personal journey, you're gonna go through so many ups and downs, ebbs and flows, twists and turns. And it's so important to just embrace them all with an open mind and an open heart, you know, and understand that, you know, you're in a constant state of evolution and growth. And growth sometimes is amazing and it feels great and it's beautiful. And on the other end, growth sometimes is also incredibly painful and uncomfortable. And it's the ability to be able to embrace all those seasons, all those facets, understanding that through it all, you're growing and it's all serving a greater purpose.
Forward is progress. They all matter. Don't fall into the trap of comparison. If 6 months slip by without you achieving your goals, it's okay. As long as you're here, time is your ally. You are enough. You are deserving. You are capable. Life isn't a race. Your journey matters. You'll get there when you get there.
Your life and the journey you put yourself through, there's nothing more than that. And that's all I want people to do, is realize that you have to struggle. You have to struggle. The bigger the struggle, the bigger the peace. Bigger the suffering, the more peace.
I really hope that you know that you are going to overcome the things that feel impossible to forget. Because here's the thing. Very soon, you are going to start making new, beautiful memories that are going to find a home in that place in you that's empty right now. And I also hope that you know that what is coming for you is going to be way better and way more amazing than what's left and what's gone.
You can reinvent and rebuild and rethink what you're gonna do next any moment you choose. You're not too old, you're not too young, you're not too late. You need new goals. When you've been at this for a while, the goals that you had a decade ago are not the goals and the things that are gonna motivate you right now. So instead of beating yourself up for not achieving those goals, why don't you flip your attitude and say to yourself, maybe those goals weren't the ones that are meant for you. What is it that you want in this moment of your life?
Why is it that we need to run from the chaos? Why is it that we need to run from the pain? Why is it that we want to run away from the things that hurt our feelings or hurt us inside or scare us? Why are we trying to run away from that stuff? Because we both know that our biggest lessons, your biggest lessons that you've ever experienced in life have come from the darkest times. You ever notice that like we spend a lot of time and a lot of energy trying to keep ourselves out of trouble and keep ourselves away from the pain and away from the darkness, yet that is actually where the gift lies, is inside those places.
When you're at your lowest, you realize a lot. Everything is raw. Everything is simplified. It feels like everything's been lost, and all that you're left with is the foundation of you. But these are the perfect ingredients for a rebirth and a rebuild. You may not realize it now, but you're gonna look back and realize that rock bottom gave you the gift of being able to start over. And not many people get that gift. The pages are blank, and you are the author.
You can reinvent and rebuild and rethink what you're gonna do next any moment you choose. You're not too old, you're not too young, you're not too late. You need new goals. When you've been at this for a while, the goals that you had a decade ago are not the goals and the things that are gonna motivate you right now. So instead of beating yourself up for not achieving those goals, why don't you flip your attitude and say to yourself, maybe those goals weren't the ones that are meant for you. What is it that you want in this moment of your life?
Why is it that we need to run from the chaos? Why is it that we need to run from the pain? Why is it that we want to run away from the things that hurt our feelings or hurt us inside or scare us? Why are we trying to run away from that stuff? Because we both know that our biggest lessons, your biggest lessons that you've ever experienced in life have come from the darkest times. You ever notice that like we spend a lot of time and a lot of energy trying to keep ourselves out of trouble and keep ourselves away from the pain and away from the darkness, yet that is actually where the gift lies, is inside those places.
When you're at your lowest, you realize a lot. Everything is raw. Everything is simplified. It feels like everything's been lost, and all that you're left with is the foundation of you. But these are the perfect ingredients for a rebirth and a rebuild. You may not realize it now, but you're gonna look back and realize that rock bottom gave you the gift of being able to start over. And not many people get that gift. The pages are blank, and you are the author.
I had a gut feeling that maybe you were meant for more. Me too. So what's your more? And I'm not talking about just more money or more things. I'm also talking about more love, more joy, more choice, more balance, more trust. What's your more?
A champion is built on the other side of I don't feel like, right? Kenny Smith say champions do daily what everybody else does occasionally. The beautiful part about life is in whatever we do, in whatever we seek to accomplish, in whatever we pursue. If you got two competitors, when they first start something, a winner and a loser has the exact same goal when they first started. But somewhere along the journey, the process, something is gonna happen that's gonna test your level of desire, it's gonna test your level of passion, gonna test your words to see how bad you really want what it is that you say you want.
Most people will not understand your obsession, your drive, and your determination. Success is a lonely journey. That's just a reality. And most people are not gonna understand why you're so driven, why you're so obsessed. And if you try and make them understand, you're gonna end up frustrated.
Champion mentality. I'm not bound to succeed, but I'm bound to live up to the light that I have. Having a champion mentality isn't about the trophies, medals, or success. It's about having no quit. Without letting anyone hear you complain. Standing up for all you believe in, living in your truth, and setting the standard at which you operate at for everything in your life. It's about willingly choosing to do every single thing within your power to achieve your end result.
There's a reason you can't just run once and expect to stay in shape. There's a reason you can't study once and expect to be prepared. There's a reason you can't practice hard once in a while and expect to win. You can't wake up early once and expect to stay ahead. Once you commit to consistency, accomplishing your goals will follow. Until then, once will never be enough.
Resolve says I will, two of the most powerful words in the language. Benjamin Disraeli said, nothing can resist a human will that will stake its existence on its purpose. Shortly put, I'll do it or die. You'll go for it until you understand it. You'll practice it until you develop the skill. Never give up until, however long that is, step by step, piece by piece, book by book, word by word, apple by apple. Walk around the block, walk around the block. Go for it. Don't miss the chance to grow. And resolve that you'll pay the price until you learn, change, grow, become. Then you'll discover some of life's best treasures when you pay that.
80% of the population never improves. They work to become okay at their work, and then they level off, and years go by and they never improve. They do their job just enough not to lose their job. And they don't understand because they're surrounded by people who are not improving either, and they think, well, this must be the way the world is. And so they feel out of control of their lives. So the top 10%, however, are constantly improving. With lifelong improvement, learning new things and becoming better. If you do that, you own the future. And if you don't do that, you're always a victim of rapid change.
You can't be great and comfortable. You gotta make a choice. You're gonna be great or you're gonna be comfortable. If you're gonna be great, you're gonna be uncomfortable.
Driven human beings are going to always feel like they're behind. They're gonna always feel like they're not doing good enough. They're gonna always feel like they're not far enough. They're all gonna always feel like you're losing. Look, winning, this is how it feels. 90% of the time, you're gonna feel like you're getting your balls kicked in, all right? 8% of the time, you're gonna be confused and you're frustrated. 2% of the time, you actually win. And those moments come and go, and then you're back in the 90%. And that's the reality of a winner's life, because true winners are built for the fight. They're built for the battle. They don't find peace and joy and happiness in the win. They find what they're looking for in the fight.
Because somewhere along the journey, we're all not gonna feel like it. And it's in those moments that character is shown. You judge the true character and caliber of a person, not by where they stand in times of comfort and convenience. You judge true character and caliber of a person by where they stand in times of challenge and controversy, i.e. in moments when things don't go right, in moments when they don't feel like it, in moments when things don't play out the way they want it to play out. Who are you then? What do you do every single day that people do occasionally, right? Because a lot of people got talent, a lot of people got skill, a lot of people got gifts, a lot of people got that. But what happens is, oftentimes, they're so talented, so gifted, that their talents, their gifts, and their skill sets ascends them to a place that their character can't sustain.
In life, when things are good and easy, if you enjoy something or you love something, that doesn't mean that you truly love it. You know, if you only like your business when it's easy, or if you only like being a parent when it's easy, that doesn't mean you love parenting. You know, really truly loving something in life is you're there and you show up when it sucks.
and it takes work and it takes effort. And we've all had that feeling, whatever it is in life, where we're like, you know what, I don't need this. And if you have that thought, snap yourself out of it. The next second, you're like, what am I saying here? I can't give up on this.
You try to drive in the future using a rear view mirror to guide yourself. I got news for you, you're gonna crash. You have to be able to look forward and create what you want, even if you've never been able to do it before. If you just tried it and it didn't work, this moment is new.
The most important conversation is the one you have with yourself. You wake up with it, you walk around with it, you go to bed with it. Eventually, you act on it.
You're missing out on everything because you're waiting for someday. You're waiting for someday to feel ready, someday for it to be perfect, someday. Well, I'll tell you what, today is that someday.
If you want to attract what you want, you've got to see yourself already with it. You don't get what you want, you get what you are. You've got to become what you want. You've got to realize the minute you hold your mind in harmony with the good you want, then you've already got it. It's only a period of time till it manifests in physical form. That's called the perpetual transmutation of energy. That is a law, the first law of the universe.
How badly do you want it? You've got to pay a price to be the best. The best pay a big price.
You've got to work harder, you've got to commit more, you've got to take more responsibility, you've got to deal with more ups and downs. If we can deal with that question, how much are you willing to suffer?
The size of your dreams must always exceed your current capacity to achieve them. If your dreams do not scare you, they are not big enough. If you start off with a small dream, you may not have much left when it is fulfilled, because along the way, life will test your dreams and make demands on you.
Be the hero of your own movie. If your life was a movie and it started now, forget about whatever financial disasters you've had, personal failures, relationship failures. What would the hero of your life's movie do right now? Do that. Do those things. We define ourselves far too often by our past failures. We look at our past and we say, well, that's not you.
Spin the block, man. Spin the block. It might not be your day. It might not be your week, your month, your year. Spin the block. Knock again. Knock again. Keep calling. Keep showing up. Keep doing what you've been doing. It's going to pay off. You don't see it right now. But I promise you, it's happening. The roots are growing. The roots are growing. The fruits are coming. I never ran track, but I've always heard that, like, if you ever want to be faster, you got to run with a bunch of people who are way faster than you. And there's something that happens with us as humans. When you are surrounded by those who are superior in their performance than you are, you're bound to be lifted up if you're as ambitious. If not, you're wasting everyone's time.
Success is something you attract, not something you pursue. Success is looking for a good place to stay. So instead of going after it, you work on yourself. Personal development. See, the major question to ask on the job is not what are you getting? The major question to ask on the job is what are you becoming?
You want to know the secret to achieving everything that you dream about? Don't quit. See, when you know what the destination is, there's a million paths to get there. And it took me a long time to learn that the greatest moments of growth and success happen right after you feel like quitting, but you don't. That's the secret. Keep going.
Don't even panic. Don't panic. Don't panic. Right now, there's a rebuilding stage. Right now. Right now, you have a chance to rebuild. Because what you're doing is you're looking at everything that went wrong, but you're not looking at what's going to go right tomorrow. Once you sit back, just sit back. Write everything down. Write your list. Write that list down of where you want to be, who you want to be, where you want to go. Look at the world. Look around you. Look at your environment and say to yourself, what do I need to move out of the way in order so I can get to the places I'm trying to go?
That's why people have scars. They're a reminder in their memory. There's something you get past, and there's something you live through, but at the end of the day, they're always there.
All fools in life have one thing in common, according to the Stoics. Seneca says what they all have in common is that they're always getting ready to start. They are delaying to live because they think they have the future, they think they have forever. They say, I'm not ready, or they say, I'm gonna do it after. I'm gonna do it once this thing happens, when conditions are more favorable. They never say to themselves, I'm never going to do it. They say, I'm going to do it later. But no one knows what the future holds. No one knows how much time we have left. Life is happening right now, this second. In fact, the time ticks by, the Stoics say, belongs to death. It's dead, it can never be recovered. So don't be a fool, don't delay. You could be good today. This reminds us. Instead, you choose tomorrow.
You have to work harder than you think you possibly can. You can't hold grudges. It's hard. And it doesn't matter how you get knocked down in life, because that's going to happen. All that matters is that you got to get up.